Welcome to another episode of Your Next Move. I'm your host, Evan Saint-Gerard, and I got a special guest by the name of Dean Clark. Dean, introduce yourself to the audience.
Yeah, hey guys. Thank you for having me. We're a Northern New Jersey-based team that services buyers and sellers, and even tenants and landlords in the Hoboken, New Jersey City market. Greater also, it goes all the way up the coast, like up to the George Washington Bridge area, Cliffside Park, Fort Lee. Basically, anything on the other side of the Hudson River where you guys work, it's the
Mhm.
opposite, literally just parallel, just in a different state here in New Jersey. Yep.
All right, so we're gonna go over a lot of stuff, pretty much in New Jersey, New York. Basically, we're like cousins. So
hmm
you're gonna tell the audience what the best, what is New Jersey, your part of New Jersey known for food wise,
Mm.
sports. We kind of share some of the same teams, but we can delve into that also. If there's anything that you can think of like a best guess secret that people don't know about your area, can you share it?
Oh yeah, well the first one is the fresh mozzarella that we have. Okay, Hoboken's
Mozzarella,
known. It's mutts. It's the mutts.
mozzarella,
It's a
all
yeah.
right.
It's mutts. It's the mutts because they have like mutts days and fests and everything. It's pretty cool. But yeah, in Hoboken as an example, there's like a mutts fest. I mean, there's like it's cheese is a big deal. But there's like a couple places like Fiore's, which is a classic, mozzarella place. You get these roast beef and mozzarella sandwiches, phenomenal. I mean, it just depends on really where you want to go. I mean, the beauty of this market here is that you have great views also of New York City and the water. So like, there's multiple restaurants that are all across, up and down what we call the New Jersey Gold Coast. It's just like
Okay.
a term that was like coined what this was. Also, we have like Liberty State Park on the Jersey City side, the Statue of Liberty, obviously, from as like a site visit, and there's just a lot to do. The one of the beauties, though, I would say of being in New Jersey and being a resident here, I was born and raised here, so I've lived here basically my entire life. And one thing I love about selling and helping people in this communities is that we're close to almost everything. And one of my taglines, I would say, is that why be in the view when you can have the view? In other words,
I,
you know what I
I
mean?
like
Like
that.
when you're like, I'd rather not just be in front of a concrete jungle. Let me just see what this beautiful landscape looks like. And that's what you get over here in Hoboken, New Jersey City, and the greater northern New Jersey area. I mean, listen, even the suburb towns that we cover still have views of New York City. It's beautiful. You're also not even, you're like an hour away from the beach. You're also an hour away from mountains if you want to go that way, Delaware Water Gap, different things. And then on top of that, you also have access to great towns, like suburb towns, like Montclair. Montclair has a very popping area of just like events for arts, and like there's a lot of theater work going on there. There's a lot of clients that move from Hoboken, Jersey City, let's say, over to those areas over there. And also, one of the biggest things that we have here is schools. So if you have kids that are, and you're a family, younger family, our schools are top rated in the country. And most people stay in New Jersey really because of not just because of their jobs, obviously in New York City if they still live here or work here, but also because schools for their kids are phenomenal. We're highly rated. I mean, I think we're one of like the top, I think top 50. And there's 50 towns in New Jersey out of the top 100 lists in the entire country that are in New Jersey for that reason.
Did you say 50?
Yeah, there's like 50 towns that actually have all across, and that just not even. Now I'm talking the entire state now, right? I'm not talking just
Okay.
northern New Jersey. We're talking central New Jersey, South Jersey. There's like a whole bunch of lineage on that, and we still have great areas that we can go for vacations. Like I said, the Jersey Shore, and there's a lot of history here too. A lot of history that
All
if you'd like a history buff, I mean, we have so much history here from, like I said, Liberty State Park to just like older buildings. I mean, the majority of the buildings that we have, like in Hoboken, as an example, a brownstone, a lot of these homes were built in like the late 1800s, early 1900s. I mean, you
okay.
have like that kind of like, yeah, they just have it's like like those like Victorian feels. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
All right. So do you get a lot of bang for your buck? Is what you're trying to say as well?
Yeah, and actually not even just having the view, you also have it at a fraction of a cost of being in New York proper, right? So you
Okay.
have it as an example. I would just say we're at least this immediate market right across the Hudson River. So
Mhm.
again, specifically talking about Hoboken, New Jersey City, all the way up to the George Washington Bridge, you basically, Avance, have like a mirror image of pricing of like from Brooklyn, let's say in Queens that you do over here on this immediate coast of Jersey. As you get further into like the suburb towns of northern New Jersey here, that's where it kind of just depends on school district, kind of depends on different things, but it's a fraction. When I say a fraction, I mean really on average you're about a minimum of 20 to 40% less than what you're seeing in
Okay.
Manhattan based on the square footage and the type of homes that you have.
So, what kind of homes are you selling right now? Are you selling condos, co-ops? Or are you doing 1 to 4 families? What can someone purchase out
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, condos, townhouses make up the majority of our market, and what we service and what we specialize in. But of course, we do a lot of multifamily work with that. A lot of multifamilies convert to condos, and they
Okay.
do a lot of that work. So we work with not just first time buyers. We go the gamut. It's the investors. We are, and being the team that we have, we have first time buyer specialists. We have obviously we have it like myself. I can handle commercial,
Okay.
investors
That's good to
coming in
know.
and buyers and sellers. Yeah, because a lot of people want to buy like mixed use buildings. They want to have multiple units. Like you have to know like the laws over here. And even though it's not as it's much like New York in that way, it's not as landlord friendly. It's more tenant friendly.
Okay.
But as long as you know how to work the law, it can still be advantageous for you to get the upside on an appreciation.
All right. Good to know. Good to know. So here in the areas that I'm focused on, right here in Queens and Long Island, especially on the Queens side, I would say about 650 is our price point, and Long
Mm-hmm.
Island I'd probably say about 550, around six. It really depends on the town. What 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 are your price ranges in your area?
So it's really town specific, just like I'm sure where you guys have over there. But
Yeah.
our average price right now is about same. It's about 650 this year.
Okay.
I mean, it was as high as 750, and then it kind of going down. But again, I mean, a one bedroom condo is not going to be priced like a three bedroom condo or
Okay.
3 bedroom house. So it just depends. But that's an average. If you have a total sum of what we work is about 650, six to 700.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
but in your area, I think you get more land, more space, because that's one of the things that we noticed during the pandemic. A lot of people were moving out of buildings and they wanted to buy a home and they just wanted more space, just for the kids, and they didn't want to be so close to their neighbors. So, I'm assuming you guys have plenty of space, especially in New Jersey. You have plenty of space out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of options for that. I mean, like in a town like I live in now, it's called Upper Saddle River. I mean, this is a place where a lot of New York City people do come. They just skip over really Hoboken, Jersey City. They just go right to the burbs, really for the school district and also the land. And on average, each plot of land over there or houses are built on 1 acres, and then it
Okay.
goes up from there. And you can get around 1 million for that. So that's actually not that bad at all. And
Okay.
so there's a lot of there's definitely a lot more land, but again, it just depends on where you go. You go to like Ridgewood, you go to like Montclair, these different pockets. It's going to be a little bit tighter in terms of like the space between. Maybe you're looking at like a half acre, but on average, it's like a quarter of an acre to a half an acre is pretty average for like a single family. And then of course, like the Hoboken, Jersey City market, and north of that, it's going to be just condo based on square footage. So.
All right. What kind of clients are you seeing a lot of coming into Jersey right now? Are you seeing like more young people? Are you seeing like people, empty nesters coming in? Who's your clientele that you're seeing right now? A lot.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I think we see a gamut of the whole age range depending upon where you want to be. But I would say on average, it's like probably, if we're talking buyers, the new buyers coming in, it's probably like 30-year-olds to 40-year-olds is pretty much like buying up the majority of like the area. And then you have about maybe 20% of the market being empty nesters. But even them, they're not even just going and coming back and buying up smaller properties per se. A lot of them are actually just moving outside the state altogether. So we have the majority of it being demographically made up of more 30 to 40-year-olds and being like those first time buyers now. And we're getting a lot of them from where you guys are at. A lot of New
Okay.
York City people, and a lot of our market is just mainly made up of that, and which is why we target market our seller listings. We have a lot of that targeted to New York clientele, like agents like yourself, and we know how to work that. Yeah.
All right. Well, we have to get into the controversy right now because between New York and New Jersey, we do share some football teams. So I guess we're gonna discuss: are they New York or New Jersey teams, and which one are each state claiming? So you want to talk about the Jets and
Yeah.
Giants?
I mean, we can. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like it is to me, Jet Life Stadium. I mean, that seems to be pretty apparent. I mean, even though it's very much a struggle with the Jets. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Jets. To me, I've always felt. I feel like the Jets were like a more of a Jersey side. Giants have always been Jersey rather, but Jets have always been like New York to me in like in my mindset. But I grew up differently, man. I mean, I just grew up like my father was a Knicks fan. My father was never a Nets fan. I mean, he just wasn't. That wasn't him. So like and a lot of my family's from New York. You got to understand, Jersey. I mean, look, to your point, Jersey is really made up of a lot of people from New York. So
we're cousins. We're basically
we're
cousins.
definitely cousins. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
But we have this rivalry. We go back and forth with who's claiming the Jets, who's claiming the Giants. We're claiming the Giants. I'm sorry. You guys can have the Jets.
Okay.
I said what
Sure.
I said.
That's fine.
Anyway,
I mean, yeah.
Do you guys have a lot of college football out there as well?
I mean, we have the benefit of having so much professional sports around us, man. I mean, like it's, we have Rutgers, of course. Rutgers is huge for us, Scarlet Knights. Go Rutgers. But I mean, it's only when like they're doing well. It seems that when we follow them. But I mean, it's like, but we have the benefit of that. Like if you go to talk to people from like agents that we know in like North Carolina and like the southern states, they don't really, they have Clemson, they have all these other. But it's just, dude, it's they don't have what we have. That's a huge part of New Jersey. I mean, New Jersey, you have sports, you have access to so much. You have access to even just being into where your area is in the city. Like it's literally like where I'm at now in my office. I'm 5 minutes over the Lincoln Tunnel. I go right in the city to Broadway if I want to for a show. Like it is so accessible, but you're not in the hustle and bustle like where you're like in this like jungle of sorts. You know what I mean? So it really makes it like a nice pairing of sorts.
That's one of the reasons why we put this series together, just to give people options if they're not sure where they want to go. And the name of the series is called Your Next Move. And just to give you options. So just in case you're not thinking, I don't think Jersey might be the spot for me. But now, as you're hearing this, like, wow, they have all these amenities. I can be in the city quickly and then be in my home and not have to deal with, like you said, the hustle and bustle. And I think
I mean, look, there's 5 features that we have in Jersey. You're accessible, like I was been talking about, to beaches. You're accessible if you want mountains. You have the view as opposed to being in the view. You have all these different shops and restaurants all over the place. Number 4 is that you have obviously the best school systems in the country in the majority of northern New Jersey as well. And your price range isn't outrageous. So it's like, what more would you want to be in Jersey? And listen, to our credit, there's a lot of famous people that have come from Jersey. I will just say that. Frank Sinatra being one of them. Frank Sinatra, of course. We know that was born and raised a little bit and actually sold a condo of his. Well, not of his, but in a condo that apparently he lived in when he was a kid back in like the 30s and 40s, let's say, in Hoboken a few years back. And so that would be one. We have Springsteen. We have John Bon Jovi. I mean, actors like Patrick Wilson from like, we have, and it's just, a lot of us, we basically create good talent. Oh, by the way, Taylor Swift did also frequent over here. Just going to throw that out there because I know she came to LBI. She has friends in Long Beach Island recently. I'm just throwing it out there. She didn't go to New York. She went to Jersey, and she came, as opposed to like California or even Florida. She went to the Jersey Shore, okay? So I'm just throwing it out there. You know what I mean? So anyway.
You know what? If the Swifties are watching this, hey, this might be a place you might want to consider. Just put your money together, and I think I know an agent out there that can help you. So we talked about entertainment, we talked about sports, we talked about food. Is there anything that we might have missed that people might want to consider, like a best kept secret that people should know about your area?
I think the best kept secret is that you don't. I mean, obviously the commute right into like the major metropolitan areas, and even if you're going like the Philly, it's only like an hour and a half for depending upon where you are. At least in my immediate market over here in northern New Jersey, and so and you're accessible to everywhere. And so I think one of the but yeah, man, it's just about being you're super accessible. And by the way, for the record, I'm just going to throw it out there to all the people watching who may be watching to your channel, is that I traveled personally the country when I was in a band long when I was a young buck, coming up.
Okay.
And I've been to almost every single state in the country, and I've seen what's out there: Midwest to the West Coast to the South. I've had a brief stint, a couple years in Florida. Like I've been everywhere, and I will say that I'm back here in Jersey for a reason and I'm raising my family here with three daughters in the school system here, and the reason is because you literally cannot find a better place to have that that like a hustle and bustle attitude, but in like a nice, polite way. Even though people think Jersey is like a different way of how we like treat each other, honestly, some of the nicest people live here, and they come here for a reason. And and also a lot of towns in New Jersey, people don't think about this. There are some towns that have high taxes, property taxes.
Okay.
Actually, the taxes in general for some of the suburban towns, and also as an example, like Jersey City, we're on a lower tax rate than the majority of the state.
That's good to know.
So yeah, it's actually the kind of like that would be I would say the best kept secret of the property taxes is that the property taxes again, depending upon, like if you go to like Ridgewood, they're on the higher side, but you're getting what you're paying for. You're in the middle of the town. It's commuter train town, things like that. But you go to like Upper Saddle River or Saddle River or Franklin Lakes or some of these other like high end towns, the taxes are like we're like 1% of the purchase price. I mean, it's crazy. So
Okay.
and you get the best school system. So it's a good trade off.
All right. I have to just backtrack a little because you did mention you were in a band, so I got to ask, what did you
Oh,
play? What did you
yeah.
play? And are you
I
still
play guitar.
practicing?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I play the guitar. Well, after having three kids and a family now, I haven't had a lot of time in that last 5 years. But I will say, yeah, play guitar, man. I mean, I toured the country. We were signed to a label and did the whole thing. It was fun. It was a fun time in my life, and I don't regret any moment I have spending time doing that. And that's what really gave me the, like the idea to like seeing what I just wanted to travel. I wanted to travel like the world, the country, seeing what's out there, and it kind of gave me a lot of perspective. I'm like, oh wow, I guess I don't really feel comfortable anywhere else. Let me like put my stake in the ground, my flag over here in New Jersey. And I thought about New York, but I'm like, yeah, it's like it's still just so crazy all the time. So I just like wanted where can I be? And so Hoboken, Jersey City was it where I started my business, and I've expanded into these other areas of northern New Jersey as a result since that time, and we never looked back.
All right. Glad to hear that. Now, if somebody
Yeah.
who's watching this is like, you know what? Everything this gentleman just said is basically what I'm looking for. How can they reach you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can just email me, call me directly. I mean, calling me is probably the best thing, or even texting me. My number is 201-240-8319. It's my direct number. And my email address is dean@deanclarkgroup.com. And you can even also I would actually say if you want to start looking at properties, if you're looking in the area to see something, or you want to get a valuation on your property that you have here in Jersey, is to go on my website, deanclarkgroup.com. We have access to properties before they hit the MLS, or before they hit Zillow rather, that are on the MLS. There's like a two to 3 day delay, as you know,
Okay.
from like
Hmm.
our own website to when it hits the MLS. And in this kind of market environment, that's like an edge that you would have other working with
Yes.
other brokers. So yeah.
Yeah. Now, if somebody's thinking about maybe not living there, maybe buying an investment property,
Mm-hmm.
should they be calling you as well?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I personally work with a lot of investors. I myself am an investor, not only in the state but also in other areas. So I understand the language. So 100%. I've worked with people. I've sold a warehouse space before. I've sold multi units before, development deals. So it's really the whole gamut and area of northern New Jersey. That if you have some piece of real estate there, whether it's vacant land, even on the lower scale, to all the way up to let's call it 10 to 20 units of a multifamily, we can help out.
All right. You know what? I don't think we have anything else to say besides thank you, Dean, for taking time out of your schedule to shoot this
Yeah,
with
buddy.
us. And all I gotta say is, guys, if you are interested in finding out what your next move is, I'm Evan Saint-Gerard here in New York, in Queens to be specific, and Long Island. If you're looking to sell here, Long Island, Queens, Brooklyn, the Bronx, talk to me. Let's start a conversation. Take it from there. My team, just like Dean had mentioned, my team are here to serve you, help you, guide you in the right direction, and find out what your next move is. And if that is going to New Jersey, Hoboken, Jersey City, we have a gentleman by the name of Dean Clark. His team is available
Mm.
to help you as well. On that note, Dean, I'm going to give you the floor. You got the last words. What do you want to tell the audience?
No, thank you, man. I think this is so cool that you're doing this. I think this is going to be a huge value to your clients, that you have in your database that are looking to be potentially over here, and vice versa. And I think that already, the one thing I'll say is that just based on the referrals that we've sent each other recently, I think it just goes to show you that we have a good synergy, and that whatever we can do to help your client base, we're here for you.
All right, Dean, thank you so much. Everybody, enjoy
You
your
got it,
time.
man.
Thank you for watching, and stay tuned. We have more stuff coming up. Really exciting stuff coming up soon. You can see this pretty much on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook page, on pretty much everywhere on social media, and it'll be also on Dean's social media as well. So, other than that, guys, have a great night. Talk to you later. Peace out.
See ya.